Today we're going to go over a WordPress business website that needs some edits on it. I'm helping some friends get their business website put together and in order, and they need to make quite a few adjustments. So I thought I would go ahead and record this and share it just so you could get used to how the workflow works, how the dashboard works. Let me get this verified and just walk you through it so you can see it. Sometimes it's easier to learn by watching. And so I've got a whole list of things we're going to do today, and we're just going to walk through step by step. So when you log into Bluehost, if you're using Bluehost as your host, you'll find the website you want to edit. And when you click Edit Site, it's going to open you up to the WordPress dashboard. If you're just using a WordPress site, you should log into this website anyway. Before we jump in, I want to be very clear. I am not any kind of expert or web designer or anything like that. I'm just going to show you how I have done it for my business websites and the way that I am helping my friends here, just to help you learn how this platform works. But again, I am not an expert. I don't know if you want to see my face or not, but here it is. Okay, in our dashboard, this is the website that we're working on. This is the name of the domain name of the website. If I click that, it's going to show me a preview of the website where I can click through links and all of that. This right here says it's currently displaying a coming soon page. So once I have everything ready, I can click this big yellow button and it will make it live. So for example, if I go over here to Chrome, because I'm not logged in on Chrome, and if I go to commissioncarpetcleaning.com, this is the page that's showing when it's in the coming soon mode. So nobody but who's logged in can actually see the website. So if I want to go back to Bluehost and edit any of that stuff, I click here. I don't want to do that right now. We want to stay here in this dashboard so that we can edit. I want to see my dashboard. This is going to show me kind of like a quick view of anything going on. We don't really need that right now either. So let's just jump right in. The first thing we want to do is work on our main page. So to find that, you're going to find the home page will always be called the front page, and you might have a different title for it, but as long as it says this front page, that is sort of like, that's always what's on your domain name main page. So the first thing that we want to do is remove this space. And to edit the text, let me click back off of it. You see that I just put my cursor over this text box. Whatever it highlights in blue is the section that you're going to be editing. So you see that pops up in blue. I put my cursor there, and I can add a space, take away a space. I can type words. I can delete words, just like you would in a word processor. And then we want to add a comma after the word toxic. So I'm just going to move my cursor there, click the comma button on my keyboard, and that adds that in. And then we want to link this call now button to the telephone number for the business. So I'm going to click this button, and this little thing right here is a button that tells me which block I'm working on. So we edit this whole website in blocks. So even though I'm inside of this block that's highlighted by blue, I've got a heading, I've got paragraph text, and I've got a button. So it says call now. And to make that, when somebody clicks it, just open up your telephone number, you're going to put in a link. I'm not sure why that's way over there. Okay, so that actually has the incorrect link on it. So I'm going to edit the link that I want. I'm going to close that. I'm going to center it on the page just so we can see that. So here where it says paste URL or type to search, I'm going to type in TEL for telephone, colon, space, and then I'm going to add in the phone number that I want it to call when somebody clicks that button. So that phone number is 770, and you don't need any dashes or anything, 835-4402. This is the submit button. So now when somebody clicks on this button, it will pull up the phone number. So if you're on your phone, it'll pull up that phone number and you can just click to call. Okay, and then I'm checking my notes of what we're updating. We're going to scroll down to this section. So we want to add a dash between non and toxic. So we're going to put our cursor there to edit the text, backspace, type the dash in, and then we want to add an additional photo. Now I'll have to check on this photo that they want because I don't know if they're licensed to use it. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here for now. It's on my phone, so I'm going to airdrop it over to my computer. That's going to show up here in my Downloads tab, and I'm going to go ahead and rename this. So I two-finger click on a Mac or right-click on a PC. Well, where is the, there it goes. Okay, two-finger click. I'm going to click rename, and this is going to be a clean carpet. Oops, I don't know how to use my shift key. Clean carpet bedroom photo. When it opens my media box, I'm going to go to upload, select the file, and I put that picture in my downloads. And here it is, the clean carpet bedroom. I'm going to upload that. I'm going to add an image. I'm going to go to my media library, select that. We've already set the alternate text and the title. That's going to be saved per photo in your media library. It's going to add that in there. Now, this doesn't look good, the size and shape of this picture. It doesn't fit this box. So I'm going to hover over it and crop. And I actually don't like even the proportions of this. So before I crop that, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make the aspect ratio a tall. Now that's too big, it got blurry, and we don't necessarily want to see the bed, we want to see the clean carpets. So let's go down to the portrait. It's still a little bit blurry, but we see more of that carpet, and let's see if we can crop that. We don't want to make it bigger. Okay, so that's no good. And then our resolution, we can make it a full-size resolution. That might help. That's the best we can do with this photo. If we want it to be clearer or a different size, we're going to have to find a different image. And we want to make sure that we have the rights to use this image because it could be copyrighted. You can't just take any picture off the internet and use it on your own website. So be careful of that. Let's go back to our list. After we add that, we want to scroll down to why choose commission. Now this is hard to read, and this text color and font is already selected based on the brand, fonts, and colors that we set up in the customization tab, and we can look at that in just a minute. So what we want to do is either change the color of this font or change the image in the background. So the image in the background, it does look like a textile, so it's some sort of fabric. It doesn't necessarily look like carpet with the folds, because carpet doesn't fold like that. I think lime green is difficult to read anyway. So I'm going to highlight what I want to edit. I'm going to come over here. And if you don't see this, if that toolbox is not there, this little button that looks like your window with the toolbar on the side, if you click that, it opens up your toolbar. And this is the text color. And I think we want to make it a dark green, because that still goes with the color scheme, but it's a little easier to read. And same thing here with this paragraph text. It is difficult to read in that lime green color, so we're going to pull it down. It could still be lighter green than the heading just to give it some more just variety, but it's darker and we can read it. Now on this picture, I do feel like this photo is still a little bit maybe too bright for the background. So I'm going to click where it highlights that whole block, go to the style, and this is the background image. And you can see the color here is very different than the color here. So what has happened is we have edited this photo with the either transparency or a layover. And I think because this is already a dark green image, I think we need to just change that. So if you don't already have an image in mind that you want to use that, you know, shows what you're trying to get across or that relates to your topic, you can go to Pexels. And this may not be a part of your subscription. This is something that, as part of the subscription to WordPress, we got access to this. I'm not sure which levels allow that. So if you don't have that, you'll have to go and find a royalty-free image source, or use your own, take all your own stock images. But we're going to search here, and let's just search for carpet and see what we come up with. And remember, we've got that dark green text on it, so we want one of these colors of like a lighter, or something that we can make it a little more transparent. And we probably want something that is landscape like this rather than tall like this, so that it fits behind that section well. I don't love any of these. Let's just throw this one in to see what it looks like. So you're going to download that image into your library. And over here, you can change these. I'm going to leave them for now. Okay, I think the apples are weird. So let's see if we can crop that. See if it gives us that option. I'm going to play around with the size and see if that crops it in any. It doesn't look like crop or changing the size is having any effect. Here is the focal point of the picture. So since the apples are here, I'm going to take the focal point and move it down here into the carpet and see if I can kind of get those apples out of the frame. I can't. It's not going to get it out. So I think we'll just pick another photo. So we're going to select a new image. And this sometimes just takes a little bit of trial and error. Maybe we just want some texture there. So it's not just a plain white background. So you just kind of scroll through here and see if there's any kind of texture that you like. There's like a shag, that might be, it's wool, but that is a good sort of texture, textile type of thing. So we can select that. I like that. That looks like a nice shag carpet. If you hate that, that's fine. You can change it. I'm going to leave it there for now. I just think that it goes well. You can see this green clearly. Okay, and then the last note is that down here at the very bottom, these pictures do not match the color scheme. And this section is your blog featured posts. You don't have to have this featured post here on your homepage, but the blog posts are going to be what helps you with your SEO and helps establish that you're an authority on whatever your topic or industry or niche is. So these blog posts are really important. I would say very few of your customers or potential customers are actually going to read these blog posts, but you do want them to look nice just in case they do. So in order to change these colors, we actually have to go back and create new images and edit every individual blog post and go and re-upload the featured image for each blog post. So instead of fixing that, we're just going to remove this featured post section for now. We can always go back and add it later, or we can add an additional section or whatever it is that we decide to do. Once we've made all of those edits, we're going to make sure that we hit save and let that load until you see this down here. And then you can click to preview that page and see the changes that you've made. So there's that photo that we added. Here's the call now button. Let's check that. So when I click that, it opens my phone app with that phone number. If you're on your phone, it would pop up from the bottom, but that will allow them to just click there and immediately call. There's that photo we added. Here's that green text. It's much more easy, much more easy. It's much easier to read with this background. Here's our trust badges that show some of the things that we offer. People really like these. I don't know if they matter or not, but I feel like if you don't have them, people notice. So there's that. Just scroll down through here and make sure everything looks good. And here's where we remove the blog post. So there is a space there, but like I said, we can add more things in later. Okay, now to fix this logo right here, there's a new logo that's got a slogan added in on it. So we're going to go to the customize section, and I'm going to have to share this image again. So let me get that to my computer. I'll airdrop that. Here it is. That's going to show up in my downloads. Again, I'm going to click to rename that, and this is the Commission Carpet Cleaning logo and slogan. Okay, now here I'm going to find my site identity. Here is the title and logo control, and this is the logo that it shows. So I actually want to change that. I'm going to upload that new file to my media library. Over here, I'm going to put green and icy blue logo for, oh, I can't type, commission carpet cleaning. And then I'm going to put the slogan in there. I can't read it. It's too small. For a non-toxic professional clean. Okay. This is going to allow me to crop it. If you have a square logo, or if you don't want to crop your logo or whatever, you can skip that. It's cropped it down to the right size that I want, so I'm going to let it crop it. And now you can see it has updated that. And we're going to go over here and hit publish. All right, once this publish button is grayed out, that means it has saved it. And we're just going to go X that out, and it'll take us back to this preview page. And then I can hover over my domain name and go back to the dashboard to do the next thing. Let's see what the next thing is on my list. Okay, there is a spring cleaning flyer to add to the home page. So what we're going to do is go back to our pages, go down here to our home page and click to edit. It's going to open that up. And here at the top, we're actually going to, you can put at the title of the page here, you put your cursor and hit enter, and it will allow you this new space where you can add something. And we're going to add an image. And you can just add a plain image, which we've already got this flyer. So we're going to upload this flyer. Again, let me transfer this over. We're going to select this one that says spring. That is the flyer. And here is it's still uploading it. While it's grayed out like this, it's not fully uploaded. I'm just going to let it keep loading. If it takes too long, I might just delete that and try again. I'm going to go back up here, hit enter to get a new block. I'm going to add an image. Let's see if it managed to upload it to the media library. It did. Sometimes it helps to go to the library and insert it that way. So here we're going to put commission carpet cleaning spring cleaning special flyer. And here we'll put spring cleaning flyer. Select that. It's going to put it in. Now this doesn't look great just off to the side. So number one, we want to center it. And then the next thing that we want to do is I want to save this, make sure it saves all of my progress. And then this right here tells me that I'm looking at the desktop view. So I want to really go look at this mobile view. And that might be too small for mobile, but it does fit on there okay. So let's go back to our desktop view. All right, so that is in there, and that's just inserted at the top of the page and still has all of our stuff. So all of that looks good. Let's see how it looks actually on the page. Okay, so see how here it's all the way at the top and this logo is over it. So we want to go back to our editing page and we need to leave a spacer here. So let's add in a spacer. And over here we can change the height of it. And I'm actually going to do 250 pixels because I think that's about the height of the logo. I'm going to save that and then we'll preview it again. And there we go. We've got that space between this opening logo and the flyer. And you can see everything else is still on the home page. So there we have added that flyer. Next, we want to edit some things in our services tab. So you see here on the menu, we've got home, about, and services. And the way that these links work is I can either click this and it will take me to, here's the About Us page, or I can use the drop down and click other pages. So here's our blog with those posts. And so we don't really need these featured on the home page since they're already here under the blog. And then on services, we can click on the services page and see what all we offer. We need to add that spacer there. And then we can also click on these individual pages. And having these separate pages really helps with your SEO because you're building your authority and expertise for the Google algorithm. If you just have one page, it's like, okay, you threw up a page, whatever. If we built this out and had maybe, 6 different pages of all the services we offer and a very detailed page, so like look on this church facilities, it's a pretty detailed page on what we offer for churches and why we offer it. It's got a lot of information, frequently asked questions, things like that. So that tells Google we know a lot about not just we want to sell carpet cleaning jobs, but we know a lot of topics that are adjacent to that keyword. And that builds our authority. And the more authority we show Google, the more it will put us as the first search result when people are looking for our keywords, which our keywords are going to be things like carpet cleaning West Georgia, carpet cleaning near me, carpet cleaning Paulding County. So we want to edit some stuff on this services tab. So these over here, these are actually pages. So there's a home page, there is an about page, there's a blog page, there's a server. Each one of these is an individual page. So we need to go back to our dashboard. We want to find our pages. And the first thing we want to do is the page that's titled carpet cleaning. We want to retitle that residential. It doesn't look like it's showing up, does it? Maybe that's what this is. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I'm not seeing this carpet cleaning page. Why am I not seeing that? Let me go back and preview this. Services, carpet cleaning, expert carpet cleaning. So it's definitely a page. So if you can't find that, you can actually go to the page in the preview and then edit the page and it'll take you straight there. Okay, so this is actually the services page. So we probably need to, let's go back and see the services and the carpet cleaning I must have put that in there twice just to make sure that people knew they could click on it. So, and I changed the title in the menu. So we want that. What I actually need to do is just go to my menu and make this say the different text. So to change the wording on these menus, I'm going to go to my dashboard and there's 2 places you can find it. You can go to appearance and menus, or when you're previewing, you can hover here and go to menus. And this is going to allow you to edit any menu anywhere on your website. So all of these that are left aligned, those are those main top levels. And then anything underneath it is what shows in the drop down box. So here's the services. It's a page. And we've named the title services. And then on this carpet cleaning page, this is actually, we want this to be called residential. And then we're going to save that. And then when we view the website, now that has been updated to residential. Okay, now I want to go here and we've got this problem with the logo again. We need a spacer. So I'm going to edit this page. I'm going to put my cursor on the title, hit enter, and it's going to allow me to create a new thing here. And then I'm going to use a spacer. And that 250 pixels worked well, so I'm going to use that again. I'm going to save that. And there's a few other things on this, I think. We need to edit some of this. So here we go. There's something about tile and grout right here. We're just going to take this whole intro to the sentence out to make it make sense, because they're not going to clean tile and grout right now. Okay, and then on the get a quote, we want this to be free. And then they did not mention this, but we want to make sure that since we've got the new phone number, We want to make sure we add this in on all the buttons. So again, we're going to click on the link button here. We're going to put TEL for telephone, colon, space, and then we're going to type the phone number in with no spaces and no dashes. I don't even know what the phone number is. Let me scroll back up. 835-4402. Hit the submit button. And now that button will allow us to dial directly to the phone number. All right. And then we want to, let's see what else. Here, we want to center this heading. So to center it, we're going to put our cursor on it. And then here is the alignment. So we'll center that. Okay, we want to delete this paragraph. So we're just going to highlight it with our cursor and hit the backspace button. Now you can see here, because I emptied that block, there's still a space for a block there, but there's no longer paragraph text. And they want us to add in this spring cleaning flyer. So I can click on this button. I want to add an image. It's already uploaded in my library, so I can just go here and select it. Let me move my screen up. And that will put it right in. And it just inserted it there into that block. Okay, and then they've got another paragraph that they want to add here. And I'm not sure where they want that to go. I think that this is going to go after the title. So I want to put this between the title here and the flyer. So I'm going to put my cursor on the title and hit enter, and it's going to create a new block in between. And since I just want paragraph text, I can just start typing, or I can add here that I want to add a paragraph. It's automatically set to add paragraph text anyway. So we're going to type this paragraph. We offer non-toxic, professional. This list is on my phone, so I can't copy and paste it. Carpet cleaning services and don't worry about typos. We can go back and fix those with a click. Residential and commercial clients. Ask about our quarterly discounts. We also offer a variety of add-on services, including stairs, rugs, non-toxic deodorizing treatment, and whole room disinfectant. Please call one of our friendly service representatives today for a free quote. Now, if I have any typos with the dotted red line, I can right click or two finger click on it, and it's going to give me the correction. All right, the next adjustment is here. Nope, not there. Yes, this is it. Okay, we want to add professional into the cleaning. So again, all I have to do is put my cursor where I want to type and begin typing. We want to add a comma to after fresh. So I put my cursor, type that comma in. I'm going to have to go get a computer charger soon. Okay, we know. We're going to get rid of that. And we want to edit this paragraph to make sure it says free quote. And quote should not be capitalized. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. All right, and now here is a little bundle that's put in. And this was already here, but if you wanted to create something like this sort of design, you can go up here to this design library. And this is sort of all the different things that it has. You can say all, and you can just scroll through. This will create an entire page for you. Or you can go to these patterns, and maybe we want a pricing table. This is what is in there. Now, if it says premium, you have to buy an extra upgrade for that. But if it doesn't say anything, if it's just got the title of it, that means you can use it as part of your subscription. So this is the one we already have in there. You can see that. This is for just two different options. If you had, if you had 3 or if you had 4, or maybe if you have one like this where you wanted some more information, you just select which one of these works the best for you. We're going to leave this one for now, but we do want to make some updates. So in the standard home cleaning, it's actually going to be changed to the standard home bundle. Again, to edit text, all you do is put your cursor over it and then either backspace or type what you want. And then we want this to say, where did my notes go? Bundle. And then to edit the price, put your cursor there, type in what you want. This needs to say 1. So again, I'm putting my cursor anywhere that I want to edit. All right, this is a button. So to call to schedule, that means I want to add the phone number. I'm going to click the link, TEL:/, and then type the telephone number. I don't know the number. 835-4402. And submit. Now that button is good. What other edits do we need to make? Okay, they want to take out the word 3-step. So I can highlight that, and once it's highlighted, I can just start typing, and it will replace the text with whatever text I want to add. Okay, professional, non-toxic. And then it says any connecting area is under square feet, but it doesn't tell me how many square feet. And there's no details here, so we're just going to leave that. They do not want that sentence, so we highlight and backspace. We just fixed that button. Now we're going to go over here and edit this one. And these blocks work, even though it's got this design and this different little, like the blue box and the white box, all the same thing still applies. We're just going to put our cursor there and clean it. We hit the backspace button, or you could have highlight it and delete it. And then this is going to be a Premier Home Bundle. To change the price, I put my cursor. And this is all just very simple, repetitive, and you just have to take the time to go through and do it. It's not difficult. It's just a lot of different things on your website. You have to make sure every little detail is accurate. We want it to be $299, 5 rooms, and 1 connecting area. This sentence doesn't make sense anymore since we removed that. We're going to fix our button. We've gone over this already, so I'm not going to continue to repeat myself about how to do it. And I don't remember if I told it to record again. Yes, I'm recording. Okay, good, since I just did all that. We're going to save that. Once this pops up, that means it's been updated. We can click here to go and preview it. We added that spacer so the logo is not overlaid. All of this text is easy to read. This does look really plain, so I'm going to go in and edit one of these background colors just so you can see how to do it. But we're going to keep scrolling. There's our spring flyer. Everything looks good. All of that. Call to schedule. We want to make sure that that opens this telephone box up here. So that's good. We'll test this button. Same thing. That's good. And then let's go back to edit the page and let's work on these background colors. It's just too plain, in my opinion. So this cream color here, we can click this box. And that cream color is here. Okay, so the way that I found that is I opened up my toolbox over here. I went to the block, the style, and here's the background color. And it's set to a cream color. I think a dark blue might look nice. Let's try it. These are our pre-programmed brand colors that are set in our customization tab. I'm going to save this and I want to go preview it and see how that blue looks. Okay, this cream here, I still don't like this cream. It's just very bland. And I like this blue. We might change this to, well, if we do a light blue, then this is not going to show up. So we might also change that. Let's go back. Behind the free quote, we're going to click on that block. Style, background color. I think that looks nice. It's got this sort of white band to space it out. It still looks good. Okay, so we're going to save that. Let's preview it again. I think that looks much better than the plain white. It's not perfect. I think there could be a better option, but this is something that I'm going to let our friends take a look at and see if they have a better idea, if they want to add an image in, something along those lines. I'm not going to spend too much more time on it right now. Okay, the next thing is in the About tab. They want to go to this blog. And they don't want this to be the blog. They want this to be the newsletter. So we're going to edit the page. And when I edit this title right here, this is going to edit the title of that page. So there's that. All right. And I can't, right now, I don't have time to change all of the blog images because they'll have to be edited and downloaded and re-uploaded. So we're going to skip over that for now. Now we do want to make sure that that changed on our menus. So we're going to go to Appearances and Menus. And see here, it changed the title of my page from blog to newsletter when I edited it on that page. All right, and then the other thing is on the blog, it's got the name of the author and all of that. And they do not want that because it's like the pre-programmed one that comes with their theme. So let's go to our widgets. And this is in a sidebar. So anywhere that somebody adds a sidebar, it adds this like pre-programmed fake author bio. So what we're going to do is we're just going to we're going to delete all of the blocks that are in this sidebar because we really don't even want a sidebar. And we're going to update that. And now we can go back to our pages and we can go to that newsletter page and preview it. And now the sidebar, see, this is where there was that fake author thing. Nothing is there. Because this is the blog, we probably want to utilize that sidebar. So let's go back to our dashboard and our widgets. Where did it go? You can hover up here and go to your widgets. And then when you click here, it's going to give you options of all these different things that you can add. So we might want to add some featured blog posts. It doesn't have that. Does it have a list of, here's the inactive widgets. So you can look at these and drag and drop. So I think that recent posts would probably be good. So let's add our recent posts. Update. And then let's go back and take a look here when we refresh it. Now in this sidebar, it adds links to our most recent posts. Now that doesn't matter right now because there's only 3 posts and then it lists the 3 posts. But as you continue to add and you build this sort of database of information and blog posts, this will show your most recent ones. And you can edit if you want 3 or 5 or 10. You'll just go back to this widget and you can go to let's see. We're going to go over here to our latest post and look at the settings. We don't want any of the post content. We don't want the author name. You could select the date if you want it to say when that was written. So you can see I wrote all these on January 12th when I set up the website. If you're going to do like a bulk upload like this, where January 12th, I would not show the date because we want it to look like we're regularly updating that. We're going to go back here to the block. We're going to select this recent post. Newest to oldest, you can have it do alphabetical order if you want. You can select specific categories. So maybe you make a blog post about every sale that you run and you put that in the sales category, but you don't want those sales to show up on your newsletter page right here because they're time sensitive. So you could select certain categories and not select the sales category. And then here you can change the number of items that you want. This is going to be how many links display here for your posts. And so you can just type in whatever number you want that to be. Save that, and that is how you update this sidebar. Okay, and then, so they want to add a bio page under the newsletter. So instead of having About Us, I think what they want to do is put the newsletter on this main menu, and then under the newsletter have the About section and have it be called their bio. Let's edit this About page first because we want that to be changed into the bio. So we're going to edit this page. Now, first off, I do not like this whole title. That green looks terrible. We're just going to get rid of that. We're going to call this bio. Okay. Now, they don't want any of this either. We can leave that there. All of that's probably fine. Up here at the top. So they want this to be a bio and a photo, sort of like about their family. So instead of just adding text and then adding a photo, I want to go and find a design. And I can go through here and see what sorts of different things they have. And I don't necessarily see. So we might just go to all and just scroll through and see what we like. All right, we're back to it. I had to pause and take a break. Okay, I did add this. I thought that their screen recording was on, so let me take that back out and show you how I did that. So I'm going to click this design library, and I've got it set to all. And I like this one right here. You can put some nice bold text and then the image there. So that is the one I'm going to select. So I just click on that, and it's going to automatically put that entire layout into the block. And then I'm going to start here in this, and I'm going to type their paragraph. As only passionate about serving others, we launched this business to help find serving life and provide meaningful influence opportunities for adults and families training. I'm trying to read this when I say it. I usually use this and let's see us. Families training or sharing work at Range Road Baptist Church, where Chris pastors in Hiram, Georgia. And then there it continues, but I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna hit enter and make another paragraph. For two reasons. One, I think it is easier readability when you break up the text a little bit. And two, because their photo that we're going to add, it's a tall, skinny photo. And so this is going to expand, and I want the text, I just want a little bit more space for the text to be equal with the height of the photo. And this is going to make this sort of like a subparagraph. But I kind of like that. But if you look at the topic of these two sentences, and then the topic of the next two sentences, this is the main idea, and this is sort of like supporting text. So I think it just gives it a little bit more interest to draw your eye to different things and make it easier to read. Our commitment to excellence and service is rooted in the same values that guide our ministry: integrity, compassion, and community. Whether we're cleaning carpets or supporting future missionaries, we put our hearts into everything we do. All right, let me go fix that typo while I'm there. And then we're grateful for the opportunity to serve your family while making a lasting impact both locally and around the world. Okay, I do want to take a quick break from this just to give you some advice on this section, because if you're watching this and you're trying to build your own website, you may be in a different category or niche or industry or whatever than they are. So in your bio, you could put some of your qualifications or certifications. So like, let's say you're an accountant, you're a CPA, but you want to offer bookkeeping services and you do it part-time, like you have an actual accounting job or a career or whatever, but you want to do this on the side and you're building this website. In this bio, you might want to add some sentences and talk about, I acquired my CPA in this date, from this school. I have these degrees. I've worked for these companies as a professional accountant. Those sorts of things. So one, when people read it, they're going to feel like you're qualified, but that will also help Google. Google can read and understand those types of qualifications. So this bio would be a great opportunity to add in some of those things that show that you're the expert at whatever your industry is. In this, it's not really important because for carpet cleaning, there is no certification, there is no degree, or anything like that. But just if you're in a professional or certifiable trade, then you definitely want to include that here in this section. And then let me get this photo over, and I want to change that to the Hewitt family. And then I actually have a bunch of their photos on my computer from editing this website. So I want to put something in this title that's going to help me. So I'm going to say in the grass in a black dress. That'll remind me that this is the photo of Chloe dressed that way. So now that image is there. So I'm going to click on this, and over here in my toolbar, it's going to allow me to delete that image and select a new one. I'll go to the upload tab and then find that location. Since it's all my downloads, it's very easy for me to find that. And I'm going to upload that. And then when it uploads, we're going to add this alternate text. The title will be whatever my file name was. So that's already going to say Hewitt family in the grass with a black dress. Sometimes when it shows this is fully uploaded and it gets stuck, you can close out your library and then reopen it, and here it is. It just sometimes gets hung up on that. So for some reason, look over here. I don't know why it says that. It says Mr. and Mrs. Jacob Wilson. So I wonder if that is from their wedding, and that is what the file is called, wherever they got it from. So we're going to change it to the Hewitt family in the grass with a black dress. And then our alternate text is going to be carpet cleaning family, the Hewitts, with a passion for serving. Okay, and see how it's, okay, so it put this in that way, but I want you to see the whole picture. So the first thing I'm going to do is change this ratio to a portrait photo. And you see how it added some more of that in. And then I want to remove that black and white filter. There we go. It's a grayscale. So let me show you again how I got to that. We're on the general. When we click the image in our toolbox, we're on the general, and that's where we actually upload it and change the size. I can click on this style section, and down here in these are all collapsible. So in the image filter, grayscale is black and white. I just want it to be none because that's already a really pretty picture. And then I'll hit save and make sure that all of that saves on there. Okay, and then they want to create some new pages for some of their key services that they're offering. So first, let's preview this page. Oh, you know what? We've got to go back here, and they want to swap these. They want the newsletter on the menu and the bio as a drop-down. So let's look at this first. Oh, this schedule of cleaning. I'm glad we checked that out. I want this down below. So I'm going to click on this block. And these arrows right here will take this whole section that's highlighted and move it up or down the page, either above or below whatever the next block is. So I'm just going to hit the down button. And now this bio is at the top and the schedule of cleaning. And I think actually we want that ready to get started below this information. So we're going to bring it down one more section because we want this to say, you know, what is our carpet cleaning? What do we offer? This is what it's all about. Do you want to schedule a cleaning? Let's make sure we have a link here. All of these buttons, you really need to go through your website and make sure that all of your buttons work. Now we want to change our menu. So we are going to go back to our dashboard by clicking this logo over here. Scroll down to Appearance and Menus. And because we already have both of the pages that we want there, we can actually just drag and drop. So I'm going to drag my newsletter and see the dotted lines beneath it. That's going to show me what position it is. I actually want to drag this left a little bit. See how it justified over to the left there? So now it's going to be on the same row as home, but I want this bio to move over one level so that it's a drop down under that. And make sure I save that menu. We'll go back here and refresh that. Okay, we've got to go back now, and you always want to check what your edits have done. We need to add that spacer into the top to put this down below. So let's edit this page. We're just going to add that 250 pixel spacer to the top of this page as well. So we're going to add, click spacer, come over here, edit that to 250 pixels and hit enter and save that page again. I'm going to close some of these windows. These are where I've previewed them. I'm going to preview that again, and there we go. And that looks really nice. This is still really plain. It's got all of this white. I'm going to let them go back and choose this since I'm not certain how they feel about that blue background. If you're doing this for yourself, you'll obviously already know what you want and you can play around with that and fix it. The next thing, okay, so let's go back to their services tab. So here, they offer residential service, and then they also offer commercial services. And their commercial services, in order for people to find them, nobody's going to be typing in commercial carpet cleaning. There might be somebody that types that in, but generally speaking, they're going to be typing in what their specific building is. So church carpet cleaning, daycare carpet cleaning. So they actually want to add some additional tabs here about their commercial stuff. So they've got churches and daycares. They also want to add offices, gyms, I'm not sure if there's any other ones. I might have to scroll through here, but I don't have those pages made yet. So let's go and look at how to add and build out a new page. So the first thing we're going to do is go back to our dashboard, go to pages, and we are going to add a new page. And we actually want to add it with Wonderblocks. And when we do that, it's going to open this up and allow us to create a template. So I take that back. I don't want to do that. I want to go to the Kadence design library. So you could have, let's go back. When you're here, you can just click add page. That's fine. We're going to put here, this is going to be our office building page. And to design this page, we're going to use this Kadence library. And we're going to look at different types of pages and then the services pages that they have. And you can just scroll through here and see different options. And these are nice because they're already built out in a really clean, organized way. And all you have to do is fill in your information. So, okay, this is editing Kim. And now that I've done this and gone back, I should have paid more attention. This one right here that my cursor is on is actually the template that I used for the church and the daycare pages. So I should have selected this one. And that way we would have consistent pages across the website. It's been so long since I worked on it, I forgot that's what it was. Later on, I realized that, but I didn't finish the whole page anyway, so they'll have an opportunity to come back and rebuild that page with a matching template. You'll just have to decide what you like and what you want to use. We're not going to have a bunch of different prices on office buildings because that's going to be the kind of thing that you have to call and get a quote on because there's so many different variables that go into carpet cleaning and office building. We don't have any testimonies, but let's click this one and see how you can go in and edit an entire page. So this has populated that entire page for us. And all we have to do is go in and basically fill in the blanks of our information. Okay, so the first thing right off the top of my head, I know we're going to need this 250 pixel spacer. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that in because I already know I need that. There's no point in finding that out later. So there's that spacer. Okay, now add a short and sweet headline and then a captivating title to catch their attention. So let me read through their notes and see. Sometimes you just have to really take your time and brainstorm on this one. And this office buildings is another great opportunity for regular cleaning to add in like subscriptions or repetitive services. So we want to talk about that too. And I don't know what they offer, but we can kind of be, general about it. This is where ChatGPT can be a huge help because here's the prompt I'm going to give it. I'm going to say, I'm designing a web page for my carpet cleaning website. We offer commercial cleaning, but I want to target more specific types of customers. I already have a page for daycares and for churches. This new page should target office buildings. Help me write a captivating page heading and an intro paragraph that gives readers a quick but powerful overview of what we offer. Our key features for our services are non-toxic, professional, and whole room disinfectant treatment. And then if you wanted it to be like exciting or professional or comical, you can tell it what type of tone to use. So we're going to say use a professional tone that builds trust. Now, this is going to sometimes come up with crazy stuff, and I always proofread this and edit it. I never leave it exactly how ChatGPT gives it, but it definitely helps you get over any sort of like, brain freeze, roadblock, not sure what to say. So office carpet cleaning that keeps your business looking professional and safe. Okay, I think that sounds really nice. I think office carpet cleaning, we need that keyword, but that feels really long and a little bit redundant because we're already on the page for office building carpet cleanings, but we can copy and paste that in here and see how it looks. Office carpet cleaning that keeps your business looking professional and safe. Okay, that's not too much. It's not like a run-on sentence. It's not like a super mouthful. I think we'll add in non-toxic because that is such a big offering of their things. And it's already got professional in here because, yes, we want them to think we're professional, but that's already implied by saying we're going to keep their building looking professional. It's implied that we know the importance of professionalism and that we're professionals. So even though on all of our other pages we say non-toxic, professional carpet cleaning, that's okay. This changes it up, and this actually will trigger the algorithm to say, oh, they're not just non-toxic and professional, they're also non-toxic office carpet cleaning. So that's good. And then back to this intro paragraph, we're gonna highlight this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and move it over here, and then I can edit it once it's in. So I can hit Command A to highlight all of that, and then Command V to paste it in. Now let's read through it and see how ChatGPT did. A clean office isn't just about appearances. It's about health, productivity, and professionalism. Our expert carpet cleaning services are designed specifically for office buildings. Okay, I don't like that because it's not specifically for that. We offer all kinds, but we can reword that to say that it's a great solution. Our expert carpet cleaning services are an excellent solution for office buildings. Chat GPT, or AI in general, is really bad about run-on sentences, and short sentences are better because they're just to the point. The shorter your sentences, the better readability. People are going to stop reading and they're going to miss a lot of your important information if you're just trying to cram everything into one sentence. All right, and then this says using non-toxic solutions that are safe for employees and visitors alike. So that's obviously not a complete sentence. And we've already said solution here, so we want to change that. So let's go here. Our non-toxic cleaning system. See, because we don't want to be redundant. It's good to be repetitive with your keywords, but you don't want to be redundant within paragraphs because it sounds like a kindergartner wrote it. Well, maybe not a kindergartner, a third grader. Our expert carpet cleaning services are an excellent solution for office buildings. Okay, we also don't want to start all of our sentences with the same word. So our and our. So instead of that, let's think of another creative way. Non-toxic cleaning solution. It is, I don't want to say it is. Let's say you want to, well, they probably don't want to. Well, I guess if they're looking for non-toxic, we don't want to be critical either. So we don't want to say you should. The importance of non-toxic cleaning solutions is that the process is safe for employees and visitors alike. The process keeps your building safe for employees. Okay, there we go. I like that much better. We go beyond surface cleaning with whole room disinfectant treatments. We can, because that is an add-on service, I believe. If it's not an add-on service, they can always go back and take that out. And I'm going to recommend anytime that I'm doing this for somebody else, I definitely am going to recommend that they go and read through everything because I'm not as close to their business. Sometimes I'll do the research on it, but I don't necessarily know the ins and outs of it, and I don't know their personality. So a lot of this is going to be written to my personality and my train of thought, and that may not be what they want to portray to their customers. So you write this, if you want this to be, fun and engaging and not stiff and professional, you would write this very differently with a different tone. But we want this to be, it is a little stiff, but we want it to be professional and really present a clean cut sort of persona of this company. Whether you're maintaining a high traffic lobby or refreshing private office spaces, our team delivers. Let's say we will deliver because we will is like more definitive results you can trust every time. Okay, I like that. Next, let's talk about here why office cleaning. This is another place we're going to go to ChatGPT. Let's just see what they have to offer. Sometimes it'll ask you questions. Do you want it to come up with other things? So we're going to let it write, and then we're going to give it another prompt because while this is writing, I'm going to click back over. So we're going to have some sort of intro, and that's sort of what it's writing right now. And then we have 3 different categories with a title and some subtext. So we're going to tell ChatGPT that we need 3 key features that we want to offer or describe, and then subtext to explain it. All right. So it's giving me a lot of this information, and we can copy and paste that later. But I'm going to say, can you please write 3 main features of our services with a title and some subtext to explain the title. Focus on SEO and readability. Consider the pain points of an office building manager that we might be able to solve, and use these key features to present our solution. All right, so we're going to let it run that. Okay, while it runs that, we're going to go back up here and see what this little thing, okay, it already wrote that. So it's just saying like you can use this and it's going to build out some more. So let's take this that it created and let's go back, and I'm going to copy and paste this in here, but we're going to move some of the font around. So we're going to paste that. Okay, why businesses trust us with their office carpet cleaning. So let's not even say why. Let's say businesses trust us to keep their offices clean. I don't really even like using the word why because I feel like that's a question instead of a statement. And I think this is sort of like a weird thing. So we're just going to reiterate commission carpet cleaning here, because when they read this, we want them to associate it with the company name. All right, and then these are bullet points about the different reasons. And let's go back and see what some of these may be repetitive in these 3 boxes. So let's go back and see what 3 features it came up with and see if non-toxic cleaning for safe workspace, whole room disinfectant, and after hours service. And then these say, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to take these headings out and use some of these sentences, because these sentences will introduce these key features, but it'll help us not be overly repetitive. Okay, so let's use these sentences and then let's read back through that and see what they say. So I'm gonna put all this together into just a paragraph. I'm just putting my cursor at the beginning of a sentence and hitting backspace to remove some of those spaces. Safe for employees, clients, and the environment. No harsh chemicals or lingering fumes. Okay, that's not even a complete sentence. Our methods are, and then we don't want to capitalize that anymore. Okay. We don't stop at carpets. Our 4-room sanitizing solution reduces the spread of germs and improves indoor air quality. All right, now this is going to be redundant because remember our 3 things that we're going to add are non-toxic to be safe, disinfectant, and after hours. So we don't need to talk about the disinfectant, and we really don't need to talk about the scheduling. And that's fine because we don't need more than 2 or 3 sentences here in this section anyway. Our trained team arrives on time in uniform and treats your space with respect. I like that. I think that sounds good. From boardrooms to break rooms, we lift embedded dirt and restore your carpets to a like new appearance. Okay, I think that sounds good. Now we're going to take those 3 features that ChatGPT gave us, and we're going to put those in these boxes. So we're going to highlight this title and put that in, highlight this title, put that in the next box, and then highlight this. And I like to copy and paste first and then edit it here within this, because it gives me a better idea of how it looks in the actual space that we have. All right, now this icon can be changed by clicking on it and then replacing it. And you can actually search for one. So for non-toxic, I like a leaf, because that makes you think of nature, and that goes with non-toxic. Whole room disinfectant that goes beyond the floor. Now, I don't know what we're going to put here. Let's see if they have one for clean. How about a spray? I think that looks good. And then after hour service, we're going to put some sort of clock or time or something. There we go. Okay, so we've got those. Now, my first thing that I noticed is that this is 2 lines and this is 2 lines, but this middle one is a little bit long. So I think we're just going to take out that go beyond the floor. That looks better. Now we're going to go back and we're going to put in the explanatory text underneath. And these can get goofy sometimes. So we're definitely going to read this and make some edits. So let's put that one. And I'm highlighting what I want to copy, Command C to copy. I'm highlighting where I want to add it, and Command V to paste. Put these here. Okay, now let's read through these. And again, this one is 1 line longer, and that actually could be a design element that the screen sticks down a little bit, or you could edit this to remove that last line. So on non-toxic carpet cleaning for a safer workplace, we use eco-friendly non-toxic cleaning solutions that are tough on stains but safe for employees, clients, and sensitive environments. Okay, that's a bit much. The sensitive environments. Employees, clients, and get that Oxford comma in there, and visitors. No strong odors or chemical residues, just clean carpets and peace of mind. I don't know about no strong odors, so let's change that. Fresh scent with no chemical residues, giving you clean carpets and peace of mind. Now, that is not a complete sentence, but I think sometimes when it's more of a little blurb like this, we can get away with an incomplete sentence. Whole room disinfectant. Your carpets aren't the only place germs hide. Our whole room disinfectant treatment targets airborne bacteria and high-touch surfaces, helping reduce the spread of illness and boosting employee wellness all in one visit. Okay, that's kind of a big claim. We want to add another sentence in there. Your carpets aren't the only place germs hide. Clean air goes hand in hand with clean carpets. And then after hour service with no disruption to your workday. We understand that your office can't shut down for cleaning. That's why we offer flexible after-hour scheduling, including evenings and weekends, so your team returns to a spotless space without. Okay, I actually like that. I don't feel the need to change any of that. So that section looks good now. I don't really even like this section, to be honest. So I'm going to click on this whole block, and I'm just going to delete that. I don't like it. We don't have any testimonials yet. And these blocks can be added back in later. That's why I'm so freely just deleting them. And okay, I'm also going to delete this one. But what I am going to add is, let me delete this one. This is no good. Oh, I'm not selecting the parent group. I want to make sure I get the whole box and delete it. There we go. Okay, let me go over here and show you. I don't want that. And I don't want that. And I also don't want that. All right, I'm going to publish this page so that I can go back to my dashboard. And we're going to go look at the church facilities page because we want to have this kind of like match. Okay, first thing I see is that there is an overlay of this church building. So that's something to consider. Although office buildings might be harder. I might could find a picture of like cubicles or something to put back there. It's got some of these key features. And really, I could copy this entire section and paste this because, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click this whole section and let's see if I can copy that. And then I'm going to take this back here to my office building page. I'm going to come down to the bottom and I'm just going to paste it. Did we paste anything? Okay, and it copied that whole block for me. And now I'm going to go through this and I'm going to change anything about churches to apply more to office buildings. So first of all, office buildings are full of young children. No, full of a variety of people. They're not often on the floor, but who often track dirt and debris into the building. And then this can just be a new sentence. Carpets can harbor dust, allergens, bacteria, and germs. Professional cleaning removes harmful particles, creating a healthier environment for your employees and clients. That's good. And this learn more, I'm not real sure what that is. I'm actually going to just delete that from all of these because I don't think that's necessary. Okay, so that is like a required part of this block. So let's just say, get a free quote. And then to add the link, we can highlight that. You know what? I can just highlight that and delete it. That's what I want to do. Well, no, it's not. Get a free quote. We'll leave that for now. Stain removal. Churches, no, office buildings. Unfortunately, deal with frequent spills, stains, and messes from snacks, coffee, and food from events. That's still true about office buildings. Professional cleaning removes the stains, helping maintain a clean and welcoming environment for both employees and visitors. Okay, now here, carpets in high traffic areas can develop unpleasant odors.
Air quality, carpets have dust and dirt, professional cleaning reduces contaminants. Okay, that is fine. We can leave the learn more on that one. That'd be fine. Learn more.
And we're going to add that telephone number in again, 835-4402. And then carpet lifespan, regular cleaning for dirt and debris from breaking down carpet. Okay, that's good. It doesn't necessarily relate to churches. We'll just say call us. That's fine. And put that in one more time. Okay, so we're getting there. Let's go back to, let's preview that. And then that way I can click over here to daycares and see. Now, if we wanted this to match, we could go back and find this exact page. And even though we've already got a lot of stuff on our page, we can actually go and add this page in above it. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put my cursor up here. I'm gonna hit enter to put it below that spacer. I'm gonna go to my design library and I'm gonna find this is the page. So it's inserted that page here at the top of everything I already added. So write a brief title, office building. We're going to just delete this and say quality service because we don't have 100 reviews. 5 stars. Okay, now this section we already copy and pasted from the other one. So we're just going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this review section until we have some reviews and testimonials. And we can delete some of these. I like these check boxes because that implies that we check off all of the things that they're looking for. And I like these drop down boxes. So I don't like this brown box. And we've already got plenty of calls to action. All right, we're going to highlight it and we're going to move this up because this can go up here and replace one of those titles. And then that can actually replace, well, we'll leave that because that'll go with those. And then also this section, I think we want to move this up. So I'm going to select that and make sure we select the whole thing. We're going to move this up. I think that looks good under the little check boxes. And then we've got those. Okay. I think this section right here is sort of like a frequently asked questions. I actually want that down at the bottom underneath the, okay, perfect. So I have adjusted that. I've added to make it match this daycare page. And let's just look at these. All of these are perfect, except instead of children, we can say safe for everyone. So let's just go ahead and copy and paste these over. Safe and eco-friendly. So let's find our check marks. We're just going to highlight it and type safe for everyone. And then down here it was eco-friendly, quick drying, gentle on carpets. And that says or carpets, so I need to go and edit that. Quick drying, gentle on carpets, allergy-friendly and odor-free. There we go. And I'm going to take this exclamation point out so we can be consistent across all of that. Okay, and then we've got this section. We've already filled that out. Now, to add this, I'm pretty much going to use ChatGPT. I'm going to tell it, now I need a drop-down FAQ section. The section has 4 questions. Oops. And the drop down will contain the answer. And it's just going to generate this for us. And we can just copy and paste this stuff and then read through and to make sure that it's accurate and nothing's too crazy about that. So we're just going to highlight, Command C, and then back here, highlight where we want to put it and Command V. And we can input all of that information.